As the people were making their way to Mount Sinai, they came to a place and set up camp, but there was no water there. And the people complained to Moses. He tried to reason with them, but they would have none of it. They said to him, why did you bring us here to die? There was plenty of water back in Egypt. Isn't God with us? Moses went to the Lord and yelled, God, I don't know what to do with these people. I bring them here and now they're ready to stone me. Moses, take the people to a certain rock. Stand there with some of the elders. I will stand on the rock. Take the rod, the one you held over the Nile when it turned to blood. Take that rod and strike the rock, and it will bring forth an abundance of water for the people to drink. So Moses went there with the people, stood there with the elders before the rock. He took the rod and he struck the rock. It gushed out with abundance of water, enough for all the people to drink as well as their livestock. It was near that same place that the people of Amalek attacked the people of Israel. Moses appointed Joshua to find men to build an army and go out and fight the Amalekites. Moses then went up the side of the hill and he stood there with the rod of God. As long as he kept his hands in the air, Joshua was winning the battle. But when his arms came down, the Amalekites would win the battle. So he sat down on a stone, and with Aaron on one side and Hur on the other, he sat there with his arms in the air, and they held him up all day long until sunset. And Joshua won the battle that day. Moses set up a monument which says, "The Lord, my banner." Finally, they got to Mount Sinai. Now, when Moses had first gone to Egypt, he took his wife Zipporah and his 2 sons. But after a while, he sent them back to Midian and asked his father-in-law, Jethro, to watch over them. When Jethro heard that the people of Israel were now at Mount Sinai, he went there with Moses' wife and sons. Moses went out to greet them. He told Jethro about how much he had helped the people of Israel and was with them. He told him how the mighty hand of God was against Pharaoh and the Egyptians. He told them about some of the problems they had had and how God had helped them with each one. That evening, Jethro gathered the people of Israel and made a sacrifice to God. The next day, Moses set about his job of judging the people. As Jethro watched, he saw that every dispute was brought to Moses, whether it was great or small. It was up to Moses to decide who was right. This went on all day. And Moses also spent that opportunity to teach the people about God and His laws. That evening, Jethro said to Moses, "What you're doing is not good. You are wearing yourself down as well as the people. Understand this. This job is too big for one man to do. Therefore, I have a suggestion, and I think it is the will of God. Understand this. Your job is to teach the people about God and His laws, and to represent them and their needs to God. You must keep yourself free to do that. Therefore, select some key men, godly men, people who love the Lord and refuse to take bribes. Now, if they take bribes, the people won't trust them. Set them in order of groups, one over the other. Divide them up. And it'll be their full-time job to judge the people and listen to everyday problems. They will only bring the more difficult ones for you. This will make the people happy. But more important than that, it'll free you up to do God's will. Moses listened to his father-in-law and selected men to judge the people. He put them in levels to be accountable to one another. And they set about judging the people. When all this was set up, he bid his father-in-law farewell, and Jethro went home.